Never forgive and forget. At least, not the way society tells you to. They tell you that to heal, you need to sit down, talk it out, and find closure. But what if the person who broke you doesn't care? What if they sleep perfectly fine at night while you are staring at the ceiling, analyzing every single lie they told you? Waiting for an apology that is never coming is how you stay a victim forever. If you want to actually heal, you have to use a completely different, darker, and much more powerful method. Being hurt by someone you trusted is a completely unique kind of pain. It is not like a physical injury. If you break your arm, you go to the doctor. They put a cast on it, and you know exactly how long it will take to heal. But when someone betrays you, or lies to you, or just walks out of your life without a second thought, it shatters your reality. You question everything. You question your own judgment. You wonder if the whole relationship was just a giant illusion. You wonder how someone you cared about could look you in the eyes and do something they knew would destroy you. The ancient Stoics understood this pain very well. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, was betrayed by his own general, a man he called a close friend. But Marcus didn't fall apart. He didn't beg for an apology. He used a specific psychological framework to process the betrayal, heal his mind, and become even stronger. Today, we are going to walk through the exact steps you need to take to heal yourself completely on your own without ever needing a single word of closure from the person who hurt you. We are going to turn your deepest pain into your greatest weapon. The biggest mistake you are making right now is giving the person who hurt you the power to heal you. Think about how crazy that actually is. You are handing the keys to your mental health to the exact same person who just burned your house down. Society sells us this Hollywood idea of closure. We watch movies where the bad guy realizes his mistake, drives through the rain, knocks on the door, and delivers a beautiful, tearful apology. We think that if we just sit down with the person who hurt us, if we just explain how much pain we are in, they will suddenly realize their mistake, start crying, and then we will magically feel better. Let me give you a harsh dose of reality. People who are capable of deep betrayal usually lack the empathy required to give you a real apology. If they actually cared about your feelings, they would not have done the thing that ruined you in the first place. When you sit around waiting for closure, you are hitting the pause button on your own life. You are putting your entire existence on hold for someone who isn't even looking back. You check their social media, you reread old text messages, you run imaginary arguments in your head while you are driving your car, planning exactly what you would say to them if you ever got the chance. You are obsessing. And while you are doing all of this, what are they doing? They are moving on. They are living their life. They are eating, sleeping, going out, and laughing, completely unbothered by the hurricane of pain they left behind in your mind. This is the absolute trap of victimhood. When you get hurt, you naturally want justice. You want the scales to be balanced. You want them to hurt exactly as much as you hurt. You want the universe to punish them. But the Stoics realized that waiting for justice from an unfair world is a recipe for lifelong misery. You cannot control what they did to you. You cannot control whether they feel guilty about it. You cannot control if karma ever catches up to them. The only thing you can control is what you do with the massive wound they left in your chest. If you want to heal, you have to take control of the surgery. You have to become your own doctor. Here are the 5 brutal, honest steps to heal from being hurt. Step 1. Radical acceptance. Stop arguing with reality. The very first step to healing is practicing what psychologists call radical acceptance. Right now, your brain is fighting reality. You keep saying to yourself, "I can't believe they did this to me. How could they do this? I thought they were different. It makes no sense." You are stuck in the negotiation phase of grief. You are arguing with the past, but the past is carved in solid stone. You can argue with a stone wall for 10 years. You can scream at it, you can punch it, and your hands will just bleed. the wall is not going to move. You have to look at the situation and accept it as a cold, hard fact. They lied, they cheated, they left, they betrayed you. Say it out loud to yourself. Strip away all the emotion, all the tears, and just state the facts of what happened. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "It is not things that disturb us, but our judgment of things." Your judgment right now is that this betrayal shouldn't have happened. You think you didn't deserve it. And maybe you didn't, but it did happen. The moment you stop resisting reality, a massive weight lifts off your shoulders. You stop trying to figure out why they did it. Trying to understand the mind of a toxic, broken person is a massive waste of your time and your energy. You will never understand it because your brain does not operate like theirs. Radical acceptance means you look at the broken pieces on the floor and say, "Okay, this is broken. I didn't break it, but it is broken. Now, what do I do?" Step 2. Severing the invisible cord. The second step is about your energy. When someone hurts you deeply, you form a psychological cord with them. It is an invisible attachment based entirely on anger, resentment, and pain. Even if you never speak to them again, if you are waking up angry at them every morning, you are still in a relationship with them. If you are going to sleep thinking about how much you hate them, you are still sleeping in the same bed as them. They are still pulling your strings. They are living in your head rent-free. To heal, you have to sever this cord. You have to take your energy back. How do you do that? You have to go completely cold. You have to implement absolute zero contact. And I do not just mean blocking their phone number, unfollowing them on Instagram, or avoiding the places they hang out. You absolutely must do those physical things, but you have to take it a step further. You have to block them from your mind. When their name pops into your head, you immediately change the channel. You do not let your brain play the sad movie of their betrayal. It takes extreme discipline. It is like training a dog. Every time your mind wanders back to the memory of them, you pull the leash hard and bring your mind back to the present moment. You must understand that holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Your anger does not hurt them. It does not ruin their day. It only rots you from the inside out. You are burning your own furniture to keep a fire going for someone who isn't even in the room. Put the fire out. Go completely cold. They do not deserve another single second of your valuable mental energy. Step 3. The dark gift of betrayal. This is where we flip the script completely. This is where you transition from being a victim to being a master strategist. You have to start viewing this painful betrayal as a massive gift. I know that sounds crazy right now because you were in the middle of the pain, but think about it deeply. What did this person actually do? They revealed their true character to you. Imagine you were building a house and someone sells you cheap, rotten wood, but they paint it to look like solid, expensive oak. You build the walls, you build the roof, and you move in with your family. Everything looks fine for a while. But one day, a heavy storm comes and the rotten wood snaps. The house collapses. Are you mad at the storm? No, the storm just revealed the truth about the wood. The person who hurt you was rotten wood. They were holding up a major part of your life, but they were weak. They were fake. The situation that caused them to betray you, the temptation, the pressure, the argument, that was just the storm. You should be incredibly grateful that the house collapsed now rather than 10 years from now. You should be down on your knees thanking the universe that you found out who they really are before you wasted another decade of your life trusting them, investing in them, and loving them. Betrayal is the ultimate filter. It is a brutal, painful filter, but it works perfectly. It removes the cowards, the liars, and the weak people from your life. It clears up space for real people, loyal people, people who actually have honor. They didn't break you, they just took out the trash. They removed themselves from your future, and that is the biggest favor anyone could ever do for you. Step 4. The illusion of their happiness. One of the hardest parts of healing is watching the person who hurt you seemingly live a great life. You look at them from a distance and they look happy. They have a new partner, they have a new job, they are smiling in their pictures, and this destroys you because it feels so unfair. You have to realize that this happiness is a complete illusion. A person who is capable of hurting someone who loved them and walking away without any guilt is a fundamentally broken human being. They have a massive void inside of them. They are running from themselves. They jump from one distraction to the next, from one person to the next, just to avoid sitting in silence with their own dark conscience. They might look happy on the outside, but their foundation is built on lies. And a foundation built on lies always, eventually, crumbles. You do not need to wait around to watch it crumble. You do not need to stalk their pages waiting for their karma to hit. Just know with absolute Stoic certainty that a bad tree cannot produce good fruit. A person who operates with deceit and cruelty will eventually poison their own life. Leave them to their fate. You have better things to do. Turn your eyes away from their fake highlight reel and put your eyes back on your own path. Step 5. Converting pain into power, the ultimate revenge. The final step is what the Stoic warriors did best. They took horrible, unfair situations and used them as high-octane fuel. Right now, you have a massive amount of pain inside your chest. It feels heavy. It makes it hard to breathe. But you need to realize what that pain actually is. Pain is just energy. It is a very dark, very dense energy, but it is still energy. You can either let that energy crush you into dust, or you can harness it and use it to build something incredible. They say the best revenge is living well, but it is much deeper and much more aggressive than that. The best revenge is becoming a version of yourself that is completely unreachable to the person who hurt you. You take that anger and you bring it to the gym. You put headphones on, you shut the world out, and you lift heavier weights. You run faster. You push your body to the absolute limit until the physical pain drowns out the emotional pain. You take that betrayal and you channel it into your business or your job. You work longer hours. You focus with a lethal intensity. You study. You learn a new skill. You save your money. You take that heartbreak and you use it to become more disciplined, more guarded, and more intelligent. When someone hurts you, they expect you to fall apart. They expect you to cry, to beg, to post sad, pathetic quotes on the internet. They want you to see you destroyed because it strokes their ego. It makes them feel powerful to know they had that much control over you. When you do the exact opposite, when you go completely silent, disappear into your work, and suddenly emerge 6 months later looking better, making more money, and operating with a cold, untouchable confidence, it absolutely destroys them. It proves that their betrayal meant nothing. It proves that they were just a speed bump on your road to greatness. They thought they were the main character in your tragedy, but you just turned them into a footnote in your success story. You use them as a stepping stone. You look back and you silently thank them for giving you the dark fuel you needed to finally wake up, stop being soft, and take your life seriously. I want you to visualize a physical scar on your body. When you get a deep cut from a sharp blade, it bleeds, it hurts terribly, it might even get infected.
But eventually, the body goes to work. It sends cells to the wound and it heals it. And here is the most important part. When it heals, the skin over the cut doesn't just go back to normal. The body builds scar tissue. Scar tissue is fundamentally different from regular skin. It is thicker, it is tougher, it is more resilient. It is the body's way of saying, I got attacked here once, and I will make sure I never get broken in this exact same spot ever again. What you are going through right now in this exact moment is the painful process of building mental scar tissue. You are bleeding right now, but the bleeding will stop. I promise you, it will stop. And when it does, the mind that you are left with will be significantly tougher, sharper, and more dangerous than the mind you had before. You will not be as gullible. You will not be as easily manipulated by sweet words. You will see red flags from a mile away. You will have a zero-tolerance policy for disrespect. You will protect your peace like a fortress. You are not damaged goods. You are becoming a warrior. A warrior is not someone who has never been hit in battle. A warrior is someone who has been hit, cut, betrayed, and knocked to the muddy ground 100 times, but they keep standing back up, harder and more terrifying than before. Do not look at your pain as a tragedy. Look at it as a brutal training camp. The universe put this toxic person in your life to teach you a very hard lesson about human nature. The lesson was painful, but you learned it. Now the class is over. You do not need to sit in the classroom crying about the test. You passed. The person who hurt you is a ghost. They belong to the past, and the past is a place you simply do not live anymore. You are the architect of your own mind. You do not need their permission to heal. You do not need their apology to move forward. You do not need closure from a liar. You only need your own discipline, your own self-respect, and your own unbreakable will. Wipe your tears, wash your face, stand up straight, look at yourself in the mirror, and make a promise that from this day forward, no one will ever have the power to break you. You are the master of your fate. You are the captain of your soul. Now get to work. If you are ready to use your pain as fuel and build an unbreakable mind, subscribe to the channel right now.